for one weekend in August, Truro is Blues Central for all of Canada when they host the Dutch Mason Blues Festival. And I'm joined today by Dave DeWolfe. Dave, thank you for joining us.
Hey guys.
Now Dave, you are instrumental in organizing this event. Can you tell us how it came together?
Year 2000, I did a blues festival in Cape Breton. And I invited, of course, Canada's Prime Minister of the Blues, Dutch Mason, to come join us and be our headliner for that, because it was all Atlantic Canadian blues artists.
Right.
And it was a rainy day in Cape Breton for the whole 3 days. And Dutch was sitting at the side of the stage. It was pouring down rain, so I saw him sitting there, and we sat down together, and I got him an umbrella and stuff. And he looked at me and he said, "Buddy," he said, "I know you're losing your shirt, but I want to tell you that you're doing a great job, and I hope you continue and don't get discouraged, because Nova Scotia needs a blues festival, and it's been my long time dream to have a blues festival, so I hope you will continue doing it." And so I turned around and said, "I'll continue doing it if I can call it the Dutch Mason Blues Festival." He laughed, and I said, "I'm serious," and he said, "Well, we can chat about it." And then it was probably a year or two later, actually it was a couple of years later, that I saw a documentary on Dutch Mason. And it was a documentary that was done, I think, on CBC, and it showed Dutch Mason in a bed and all that kind of stuff. And I looked at the documentary, and it all came back to me. You know, we had that conversation, and I thought to myself, I'm going to give him a call and say, "Hey, Dutch, what do you think? Think we should do this again? We'll call it the Dutch Mason Blues Festival." And he said, "Come on up." So we went up, we sat down, we planned 5 years of the Dutch Mason Blues Festival. The very first thing he said to me was, "Let's do this, because I've been at a lot of festivals, they come and they go." He said, "If we're going to do this, and it's my long-time dream that we had to have a blues festival where big acts could come in and local artists could share the stage with them." And he said, "Let's go big or stay home." So our motto was always, since I started this, "Let's go big or stay home." And of course a lot of people in the beginning said, "Are you crazy? You're broken things like Bo Diddley, and you're only like a year old, 2 years old." But that was our plan. And of course we joked about the fact that let's have all your favorite BE things at the Dutch Mason Blues Festival. So we ended up doing blues, bikes, barbecue, beer, babes. And so far, Bo, Buddy Guy, Bonnie Raitt. Hopefully next year will be BB King.
This year's lineup was a really impressive lineup. Tell us about this year's lineup.
We always start off on Friday night with a little bit of an edgier night. So our slogan at the Dutch Mason Blues Festival is, of course, "Blues is where rock comes from."
Yep.
So you know, our Friday night is always a little bit more on the rockier edge. Dutch Mason Blues Festival is about blues, but we also book artists that have been influenced by the blues. So we want to reach a lot more people, a lot more demographics to come and enjoy the blues and build a fan base for blues festivals. And so on Friday night, of course, we had David Wilcox, Walter Trout, 17-year-old Jimmy Boskill.
Great show.
Local Charlie Acord. It was a heavy guitar player night. If you're a guitar player, if you like guitars, that Friday night is always a guitar heavy night for us.
How's everyone feeling tonight, y'all? You guys ready for a kick-ass weekend? Absolutely, man.
And then Saturday night, of course, the big attraction was Bonnie Raitt, which must have been a great thrill.
Yes, that was a thrill for us. Actually, it was a highlight for our 4th year, and she did an amazing job. We also had Mr. Hubert Sumlin along with James Cotton, and Saturday is more reserved for our real blues artists and legend artists. And of course, we also had Canadian David Gogo, one of Canada's unsung guitar heroes. And the night opened up, of course, with our ambassador of the blues, I should say, the son of the was Garrett Mason.
Mason, exactly.
You're my baby, out your name.
On Sunday, I saw something that really, really impressed me. The Twisters played on Sunday, and one of the kids who was a volunteer at the event was talking to the guitar player of the Twisters, and said, I'm trying to learn how to play the guitar myself. And the guitar player of the Twisters actually invited the young fella back to the trailer, and they sat down and he gave him a little impromptu guitar lesson. While I was doing my interview with Dave Horrell, he was actually giving the kid the guitar lesson in the background. The contact between the artists and the crowd and the people is absolutely awesome at the Dutch Mason Blues Festival. Is that something that you guys have worked towards doing?
Yes, actually it is something that we like to see happen. We like to encourage the artists to mix and mingle with the crowd, be more accessible and stuff like that, because when you get a chance to see them on stage and maybe get to rub elbows with them later on and touch them, feel them, get an autograph from them, it makes you feel more connected, more involved. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make people feel like this is an event that they can come to, and that it's not just an event to sit back and watch, but it's something that you can get involved in and get up close and personal to it. And Dutch Mason, of course, got the Order of Canada for always allowing people to be accessible to them and letting other artists up on stage with them and so forth and like that. So we're just trying to keep that feeling of being just good friends and buddies.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming, and I hope you're going to be back next year.
Oh, you know it.
White summer day, she went away. Oh, she had that good face and moved away. Something